Greetings, Stars fans, and welcome to the First Place Two Brothers Mic'd Up show. If you didn't know, we sit down, we will play a game of NHL, have it going on in the background while we talk about your Dallas Stars. We're going to review what we just saw and give a discussion right here for you on the internet. As we start off each video, we go back to the last video, so always stick around because we give predictions. Quinn, you said for the Winnipeg Jets game, you liked a score of 2-1 going to overtime, or a 4-0 victory for the Jets. I liked a score for the Dallas Stars of 3-1 and a score of 6-2 for the Jets. I kind of played off what the recent trend for the Dallas Stars games were. They had given up 6+ goals, 6 or 7, if you've been keeping up with the team, with that number right there. But we were pleasantly surprised with a Stars win of 5-3. Going down the goals, we have Jason Spezza on the power play. We have Burmistrov. Nichushkin tallies in. I think that ends a 19 game goal drought. We have Andrew Ladd shorthanded. We have Colton Sevier. And then we have Jamie Benn twice and Mark Scheifele. So, starting off the game, what stood out to me is that the dubbed Supernova line was reunited with the Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin, Jason Spezza line. It kind of did show that, you know, the Stars were paying attention to the last couple of games and saying that they really needed to shake things up. Do you think that line, like, overall for the game, do you think that line worked all that well?
I mean, it's kind of hard to judge it because, you know, they get the goal on the power play. But, I mean, throughout the game, they really didn't do anything else. They kind of seemed lackluster, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Jason Spezza looked a little slow. I think he's still trying to get the flow of the game back with him being out for as many games as he was. I mean, hell, if you miss like 3 games, I mean, your steps are going to be a little slow. So I think with him getting back in the lineup, he's working himself way back up there. But the surprising tale of the game had to be Jamie Benn. Now, there's no reports of him being injured, but he did take that hit, and he did seem to kind of favor a hip or a leg. But then you could tell, like, after he took that hit, that he was kind of, half speed, especially with that break that he had. Was it in the second period?
I'm not sure.
Where he just seemed so slow out there on the ice. Granted, he's not the fastest player, but he does have some jets. I mean, he's not Tyler Seguin fast, but, I mean, he's still pretty fast for the size of guy that he is. But it looked like he was just a step behind everybody in that game. We'll have to keep an eye out on that. But the Stars, they start off the scoring on the first power play, and within like 30 seconds of the power play, they already click. And like you said, you know, they did score on the power play, but, you know, that's power play minutes. You have Sharp out there as well. So, I mean, I think that kind of skews what that line was doing a bit. But I did like seeing the shakeup. I did like seeing Spezza back up there because I thought that line worked really well last season. But obviously you can't stack the first line like that. You can't deplete the rest of the lines whenever you're trying to overstack, because if that line gets shut down, you're relying a lot on your depth, and frankly, our depth has not been that great. I mean, we're getting depth scoring as we see in this game, but you can't count on Nichushkin and Sevier to bail us out, kind of like they did in this game. But we see the Jets. They they're actually bringing a lot of pressure, and you know what? The Stars were very lucky to not have been down in that first period, because the Jets, they ate a lot of iron in this whole game. I mean, the Stars are lucky that they didn't lose this game. I think the Jets hit 6 posts, 2 from Bufflin, 1 from Wheeler, 1 from Ladd. A couple of others in there, I think, but I mean, the defensive breakdowns that the Stars were having, a lot of the penetration that the Jets were having, especially with their defense. I mean, you saw in the first period with Tyler Myers, he's just all alone, and without Niemi making that great blocker save, I mean, Niemi, in my opinion, he was the first star of the game. Talk about the defense. I know we've been, really harping on the defense a bit, but with this win, did you see it getting better, or is it about the same?
It's about the same. Like you continue to see our defense just getting beat everywhere. I mean, not all of them. But, there was one point when old Jordy and Nemeth were on the ice, and Nemeth just gets beat to the puck time after time after time again, getting shoved off the puck. And you see that a lot, especially in the second period, when the Jets are just hounding pressure on us. I think there was probably a good, 3 minutes where the Jets never left our zone. Just because of defensive breakdowns in our own zone, we couldn't get the puck out. The Jets were just playing superior hockey to us.
Yeah, at spurts it did seem like the Jets were really taking it to Dallas. I mean, Dallas did have similar spurts there in the second, third period, I believe. I think it's standing out more that the opposing team against the Dallas Stars are finding more pressure in the Dallas Stars zone than it is than Dallas Stars applying their pressure into the opposition zone. We saw that in Phoenix. We saw that against Boston. I mean, these teams are now finding ways to spend a lot of time in the Dallas Stars zone, but I think it has to do with our defense just not being strong enough. Especially on the Burmistrov goal, we see Klingberg, although he loses his stick, so I mean he'll have some kind of there will be someone out there to defend losing your stick, but he still isn't strong enough to try to separate Burmistrov from the puck. Just because you don't have your stick shouldn't be where your central strength is going towards. It should be in your hands. It should be in your arms. It should be in your shoulders. And Klingberg just can't separate Burmistrov, and that's going to be a big factor going on in the next 2-3 seasons, is that since we are building our defense, and Klingberg's going to be here for 7 seasons, if he rides out his contract, he's going to be here for a while. So if he does not get stronger, then I think there's going to be a problem, because as of right now, he's not strong enough to separate big forwards. I mean, Burmistrov really isn't all that big. I mean, I think he's about the same size as Klingberg.
Well, there's a difference between trying to defend a big guy and then a power forward that his entire game is focused on rushing the net with the puck.
Right.
I mean, a guy like that going up against Klingberg, that guy's going to win 9 times out of 10.
Right.
with the 10th time being that Klingberg has his stick and is able to knock it away. But because these guys are built to do nothing but ram the net, push the puck through the goalie. They're not trying to shoot it around him. They're trying to push the puck through the goalie. Like, that's their sole purpose.
Right, and that's pretty much what I'm highlighting is that Klingberg is gonna have to treat this off season more in strength than anything. I think the gym time that he's going to have to spend in this next off season is gonna probably have to double. I mean, he's gonna have to find some strength, or I mean, his legs kind of need to be stronger too, because he kind of seems like a deer, like kind of like Bambi out on the ice whenever the deer tries to walk on the ice and stuff like that, and his legs kind of, go all over the place. It kind of seems like he has the will and he has the smarts to use his abilities. Like, his skating is really good, but I think his legs, his upper body strength has to get stronger for Klingberg to really start taking that next level. Grant, yes, I understand that he's only a second-year hockey player, but next season, if we don't see improvements in his strength, I mean, I'm going to have to start questioning why we think this is going to be the guy. Because, you know what? Right now, I mean, he's not Carlson. I think right now anybody would say, Carlson is a bit better because, he's seasoned. Carlson doesn't get separated away from the puck as much as Klingberg does. And Carlson can defend a bit better than Klingberg can. So that's something that I would like to see. And then it was good. It was really, really good. And actually kind of timely with Nichushkin getting his goal. The day before we see, or like the day of, we see his name pop up on the rumor mill, up on the subreddit and on Twitter. And, I mean, I still think it's right to consider him to be an asset in a trade. Because right now, look, he worked hard in the corners. He put that hit on, Postma. Knocks him down. He gives a little chip over to Janmark, I think, and then gets the puck back and skates towards the net and gets a nice goal. He gets the shot off real quick, doesn't overthink it, and that's the Nichushkin that this team needs. That's the Nichushkin that could be a top-line forward. But as of right now, he still lacks the killer instinct that we have been saying he needs. He's not as strong as you would think that. He has a big body, has a big frame, and when he uses it, he throws it pretty well. He's got good hands, he's got good skating, but he seems so timid out there on the ice. I mean, what do you see? I mean, from what we've heard from Nichushkin and what he could be, I mean, what are you seeing? And do you think that we should keep him around?
I mean, it's just like you said. The Nichushkin that we saw last night was definitely a Stars Nichushkin. But with that being said, all I see whenever I see him playing on the rare occasion is that he's a timid hockey player. I don't know what other way to put it. You see him wanting to go to the boards. You see him wanting to protect the puck. But it's a rare occasion that he actually wins those puck battles. Because he's not using his body the right way. Now, granted, he is coming off a hurt season, He's still only, 19, 20 years old, so he has time to improve, especially with training.
Yeah, but...
Is he a right fit for this team? Is he going to progress on this team? Or would he progress into a better hockey player with somebody else? And we, in turn... Because if we trade Nichushkin, I want it to be for somebody who's going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
Not some 30-year-old rental. If that's the trade that they're going to make, I am definitely against it. I want it to be for some mid-20-year-old who's got like 3 years on his contract. That's going to immediately help this team out. Not somebody who's going to help the team out through the first round of playoffs and he's gone.
Yeah.
That's the kind of trade I want to see if we do happen to get rid of Nichushkin.
Yeah. Here's like a couple of scenarios that I like with Nichushkin. I like the thought of Nichushkin staying here. I like the thought of him progressing and becoming that good power forward that he was drafted to be. The forward that Jim Nill said that this could be it. I mean, we spent that high draft pick on him because there has to be potential there. But this isn't game 15 or game 20. At some point, he had to have recognized that this is game 61, and we're just only getting flashes. I mean, that was Nichushkin's 7th goal. I mean, Janmark is outpacing Nichushkin, and Janmark's a first-year player, and he is proving himself to be an NHLer. Nichushkin, as of right now, he isn't. And you know what? He's been benched. He's been moved around all over the line, and something still isn't clicking with this kid. That's the only thing that I worry about with Nichushkin, is that maybe he does need to be traded to realize that this isn't a cakewalk. You know, how many times can you bench him? How many times can you just keep him in a roster slot and only give him like 7-8 minutes of ice time? I'm sorry, but why not have him go, or have someone up like Brett Ritchie that will soak up more minutes and actually help the team? You know, that's the only thing. Like, whenever I went and I started talking about a Nichushkin trade and everything like that, it's not because I don't like Nichushkin. It's the fact that I'm just not seeing anything out of him. Yeah. You see like little hot flashes from him, but then it's gone. It'll go away. How do we know that this isn't going to go away for like 20 games?
The way that I see it is, do we want to put our faith in a kid that's going to be a first liner 2 to 3 years from now, or do we want somebody who's established that can make an impact this year and for the next couple of years? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Is this team is good right now, but it's not great.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to trade a young prospect like Val Nichushkin, who probably won't be established for another 2 years, on the off chance he becomes great, for somebody that can be an immediate help now?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, when you look at the numbers, I mean, Colton Sevier only has 6 goals, so if he scores one more, he's tied with Nichushkin. And we all know that Colton Sevier is not supposed to be on the level of what Nichushkin was supposed to be. Colton Sevier, I see this is the role that Colton Sevier is going to have in the NHL. He's maybe a 10-goal forward that's supposed to be on a bottom 6, that's supposed to eat up like penalty killing and everything like that. That's not Nichushkin. Nichushkin should be getting like 18 minutes a game, and he should be in the 30-goal season mark. Yes, this is only his 2nd full season, and this is all hyperbole that, you know, he could turn into this player, but right now it's kind of like the Jerome Iginla Joe Nieuwendyk trade. We traded Jerome Iginla without knowing like his true potential. Like, when you go back, I would still make that trade, you know, because we got a cup from it. Do I think the Stars are a cup-winning team this year? No, I don't. I still think that they have another season or two. As much as people want to see a deep run in the playoffs, as of right now, if they don't do something with the defense, I don't see it happening. So that's why I would love to, if Nichushkin is in play, and a lot of people are saying that he's not now after that game because he had such a strong showing, is that Why not dangle him out there and see if we can't lure a Brent Burns or someone like that away to solidify our defense? Because as of right now, if the defense stays the same, they might get out of the first round. Might. Because we know this defense is not strong enough. And I'm sorry, the chemistry that is going with this team is not working all that great. I mean, yes, they are a team that's in first place in the conference right now, but I still feel like there's too much potential with the defense, and something is not working. Because you know what? And you see that on the shorthanded goal as well. To bring up a player that we always talk about, Goligoski. Goligoski just has no interest in really putting pressure on Bufflin to even like stop the pass getting across to Ladd. I'm sorry, but if I was a video coach and I showed that to Lindy Ruff, I was Lindy Ruff, I would be livid. I would say, Goose, park your ass on the bench if you're gonna play like that. To think that no one, and you know what, Goligoski's going to be a free agent this summer. Why not dangle him out? Why not, see what we can get for him? I would much rather trade him for a good top 4 defenseman. Doesn't even have to be a top 2, because you're not going to get a top 2 for Goligoski. Solidify that second line. The third line definitely needs work.
Which brings me to the next question: why haven't we seen Alexiak and Yogi Paka yet?
I don't know. I
don't know why we continue to have the defensive troubles that we're having and not try to shake anything up.
It's a little unreal that people think like. I'm not sure what a lot of people are thinking that Nemeth is the answer right now, because we saw on that Scheifele goal, Jordy Ben and Nemeth were on like the completely different pages. Like Jordy Ben goes one way and goes more towards Nemeth's side, and then Nemeth is over here trying to scramble to pick up Scheifele for that goal. I mean, something's not working on that bottom two, and you know what? Take them out, put in Yoki Paka and Alexiak. I don't understand. Like, now is the time to really start seeing what you're going to be taking into the playoffs. Because I guarantee you, if they take the current defensive lineup into the playoffs, I'll be surprised if we get out of the first round. I want to be surprised. I want to believe that this defensive core could do something, but I'm sorry, I don't see it. And I don't want to be the guy that says, oh, I told you so. But, I will hold my breath to see if that can actually happen. Because, without those 6 posts, 5-6 posts, and Niemi playing well, the Stars lose this game terribly. They let a game just go right by them that they were in a little bit of control, because you know what? But I did like that the Stars didn't completely shut down after the shorthanded goal. Whenever that shorthanded goal went in, I was like, okay, that's the goal that's going to shake this team. And we saw it in the other games. Is like whenever an untimely goal comes against them, they get shaken and then they don't know how to play hockey anymore. So I was very surprised to see that they were able to, rally and get this win, because you know what? They needed this win. They needed it just for confidence and to really shake that 6-goal, 7-goal games that they gave up last week. It's nice seeing Jamie Benn score, but it's even better seeing depth score, because if this team relies on too many first line goals, you're not going to get too far. The only time that I've seen something like that to pretty much carry you through a whole season is like when Rick Nash took the Columbus Blue Jackets to the playoffs. They lost in the first round, but that dude carried that team like no other. And that's the only time I've really, really seen a first line just drag a team into the playoffs to try to do something. So depth scoring is great. Hopefully we don't see Nichushkin crawl back into a hole and just dry up completely. Because if he does,
release the floodgates, Nichushkin, please.
Yeah. What was there anything? Oh, there was one thing. There was another thing that I wanted to touch on, and we've touched on it before. Jamie Benn on that 2-on-1, and he passes. I mean, why does he keep doing that?
Oh, I mean, it's like Razor said. Like, he's got one of the best shots, one of the best accurate shots in the NHL. But yet, time after time after time, we see him pass.
Yeah, I mean,
we get it. You want to be the captain. You want to help the team out. You want to help the team get goals and get points and assists and everything that you want to do. We get it, captain. But shoot the freaking puck.
Yeah, like, you won the skills accuracy contest the first year that you were there. I mean, you've been proven that you are an accurate shooter. We get that you don't want to be selfish, but this team would much rather you shoot. I would much rather you shoot and say, I'm the captain. These moments right here are mine to take because I am the captain. I mean, those sort of decisions should be on your shoulders. And if you can't really step up to that and be selfish whenever you clearly need to. I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to be the captain, but he has to realize he's one of the best hockey players in the league, and he has to start treating himself like that. Stop doing these passes, and if you're going to pass, put a little more effort on to your passes. Like, make sure they get there. Be 100% sure, because you know what? If you're not 100% sure, I would much rather you take that shot.
Yeah, and if you are going to take that shot and you still want to help people out, shoot for the pads.
Yeah.
Create rebound. You don't always have to try and bar down the shot, top shelf corner. You know, sometimes the best shot is the one that just stays on the ice.
Mm-hmm. The Stars are able to, cash in on a couple of power plays, so that was nice. They give up that shorthanded goal. They are now first place in giving up shorthanded goals, which is not the first place or last place. I mean, however you want to look at it. It's not the position that you want to be in for their power play, for it being as highly rated as it is. But they shut down Winnipeg's power play. It was nice seeing them step up on their on that end. They got really leaky there. And I liked Niemi's game. I liked a lot. I think he played really well. And I hope to see him in net against Winnipeg again on Thursday. I would like to see that. Anything else that you wanted to touch on that game?
I think we touched it all.
All right. Well, then let's go into the ratings. What did you rate this one?
I rated it a C+. They hung in there, but at the same time, this game could have been easily lost.
I agree. I gave it a C+ as well. On the pretty much the exact same reasons that you had. I mean, this game could have been lost. Would like to see more killer instinct out of them, like we say day in, day out. But they won, and I'm taking it. That's all that matters. Next game, Game 62, they play the Winnipeg Jets. Again, here in Dallas. How do you see that one playing out?
Well, it was an interesting stat that I saw that Razor was saying that every home game that they've lost, and the past 3 games that they lost have all been 5+ goals. And again, this game they lost by 5+ goals. So I'm gonna say if Dallas wins, it'll be, well, I think it's gonna be the same score, 5-3. If Dallas wins, and if the Jets come on top, I think it'll be 3-2.
All right. Being here at home, I think the Stars will want to shore things up a little bit defensively. Will they do it? I don't know. I'm interested in who Winnipeg is going to start as their goalie. I think if it's Pavlik again, I think he plays a better game. So I like the score of what I had last time as 3-1. But if they have a different goalie and they go with a different scheme and everything like that, and this one that they learned from the game in Winnipeg, I think the score comes down a little bit, and I like a score of 2-1 for Winnipeg. So that's the discussion. Be sure to subscribe, like the video down below, leave any kind of feedback. Remember, this is a show for fans, so anything that you provide us, sharing the video or anything like that, helps us out. And, as always, tune in next time.